Special occasion. This has been a culmination of many hours of hard work, perseverance, and we are gathered here to congratulate our graduates and to honor them, their families, and their loved ones. Before we introduce our graduate speakers, we'd like to welcome some special guests. If you are here as a tribal elder, would you please raise your hand or stand so that we can welcome you? If you are here as an elected tribal official, would you please stand so that we can welcome you? Thank you. If you are here as a tribal education representative, would you please stand so we can recognize you? If you are here representing the administration or a member of the faculty of the Evergreen State College, would you please stand so that we can welcome you? If you are here representing the administration or are a member of the administration or faculty of Grace Harbor College, would you please stand so we can welcome you? If you are here representing the administration or a member of the administration or faculty of Peninsula College, would you please stand so we can welcome you? Hey. Thank you. If you are a prior graduate to the reservation-based community determined program, would you please stand so we can welcome you? Thank you all for coming, and we are glad you have joined us. At this time, I would like to introduce Michael Zimmerman, our provost for the Evergreen State College.
Thank you. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love this event. This is one of my favorite events of the entire year because we are such a diverse community coming together to celebrate success. We've just thanked a whole bunch of people, but I want to do a little bit more of that. This program would not be successful without the friends, the family, the significant others of all of the students who are graduating, celebrating today. So will you, if you are here to celebrate somebody's graduation, stand up or raise your hand and let's give each other a great big hand, because these students would not be where they are without you. I'm a little confused because there still were a lot of people sitting, and that doesn't make any sense. So how about, let's just give the people who are sitting who are too shy to stand a hand as well. At Evergreen, we care about education, we care about community, we care about learning across significant differences, we care about educating students to work with us to help change the world and change the communities in which they live. One of the most exciting things that I've seen over the years that I've been here at Evergreen is the impact that our graduates have back on their own communities, in their tribes, helping with so many absolutely critical issues, helping others follow in their footsteps. You've seen a number of alums who are here. We have graduates and students today because of their efforts as well. None of this would have been possible in any way without the faculty who spend how many weekends every year teaching all of these students. Cindy Marchand Cecil is the head of this program. She's the leader who helps bring all of this together. Join me in thanking Cindy and her colleagues for all the great work that they've done. Okay, and with that, I just want to stop and make space for the really fabulous events that are going to follow, the wonderful dance, music, and speeches, and just wish all of those who are graduating this week from the Evergreen State College with a Bachelor of Arts degree the best success possible. You've come to the reservation-based community determined program at the Evergreen State College. You have succeeded, and you will be a transformative agent for your local community. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Michael. At this time, I would like to give a quick shout out and a thanks to Tom Mercado. If it wasn't for your services and helping us, we wouldn't be able to celebrate days like this, and a big thank you. And now it's time to have fun. It is my great pleasure to introduce Cindy. Katia. Sorry about that. It's my great pleasure to introduce the Katia Alaska Native Dancers. Tiny Burrill Jr. is the leader of this group. Will you help me in welcoming Tiny and the Katia Dancers?
Good chish. Tuti a he you khatu asa. Es ayakhat. Takte tan city. Ara dakahiti. Takte hit. Wuskitan dakshin. Kagon tan yadi Filipino ayakhat. It's just a proper introduction. Honorable and most noble people that are gathered here today. We give you thanks to the Nisqually people who lived in this region, and the Suquamish, not the Suquamish, but the people, Squaxin Island that lives a little bit further north of here, the Quinault that live also in that area. We'd like to give you thanks for letting us dance on your land. It is always important to follow the proper protocols of the native people when we dance on somebody else's land. So we thank you. This afternoon, my dancers are going to do a few of the songs for you. These songs go back hundreds of years. They have been passed down traditionally from family to family. The songs that we're going to sing belong to different clans. And we thank the different clans for letting us use their songs while we're away from home in Alaska. The first song we're going to do is what they call the outside of the house song. When our people visited different villages, the strict protocols were followed. As they came into the village, the head man on the boat would keep watching. We would call him the watchkeeper. And as soon as he saw the land, he would say, and he'd shout out to the rest of the canoes, "Anahe! Anahe!" Meaning, there is the land. We have reached our destination. And they would start singing as they came in. Once they got close to the beach, they would stop, and then the protocols were exchanged between the people in the village and the people on the canoes. And they would request permission to come ashore. Once that had been done, they would pull the canoes up and they would lay great big copper plates down on the beach so they wouldn't skin up the bottom of their canoes. and they would pull the canoes up this big copper plate. And then they were invited to drink from their spring waters and rest for the celebration that evening. When they came to the longhouse, such as this, they would rap on the side of the building to announce their arrival. And they would sing a song, what they would call the outside of the house song, so the people inside could prepare for their arrival as they came in the door. Once they finished that song, they would do an entrance song. And as most of you know, that in the longhouse there was only one door. That was the front entrance. It was a carved area where only one person could come in at a time. And this was done for a purpose. So if they were being attacked, only one person would be able to get through that door at a time. And it would be what they call a false door. Because inside there was a double wall where the people used to hide in case they were being attacked. And they would come out from in between these walls to fight their opponents. So we're going to sing the outside of the house song, which is a Coho song. It's called it belongs to the Luchtahari people of Yakutat, Alaska. And it means we have traveled far, but the distance isn't that long that we cannot come and visit our relatives and sing and dance and share our food with you. The second song is like a la 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 song, you know, it's just humming away as we come in on our entrance song. And I'll explain the rest of the songs as we go along. Thank you very much for the sheesh. that song we sang belongs to the late David McKinley of Hoona, Alaska. He wrote this song for his children and his grandchildren so they would never forget the day they almost lost their grandmother and mother. He and his wife were out of a canoe, and a rogue wave had come along and turned the canoe over. David panicked, and he went under the canoe looking for her, and he couldn't find her in the dark water. He came up alongside the canoe, and he didn't see her at all. So he reached frantically. He was on the water, grabbing anything he could. And what he thought was seaweed was the hair of his wife. And he pulled her up and secured her to the canoe. And they kicked her away to the beach. So he wrote this song, a love song for his children and grandchildren, so they would never forget that day. This song has been passed down for many, many different generations. And I thank my grandfather's people, the Wichita, for letting us use this song when we perform our dances with the king. The next song is another Wichita love song. It's a song that was, yes, it says, if I could read it. I think of you and miss you, children of the Wichita. Please show me some sympathy. I pray to my God for you, children of the Wichita one time. Every day I carry you close. It's hard to translate from our language to the English language on the personal feeling without writing a full paragraph. It would probably take about a full page to really explain it in English. When you think it was very quick. You know, we used a lot of metaphors when we spoke. So we knew what we were talking about, and the people knew what we were trying to say. But it's kind of hard to explain it in English. But it's true. Go.
just brought the machine down here and hooked me up right after I danced. The next song we're going to sing is a song that belongs to my clan, the Tuxedo people, and it's a spirit dance. So I'm glad you all finished eating because I'm going to spread some eagle down, okay? The headpiece I'm wearing is called a shakiyat. It is used for fast dancing. You'll see eagle down coming out of my headdress. The eagle down is to bring peace to the floor today and to your hearts and to give you safe travel home. And chief. Go. Try to get my other people here to dance like me. yet. And we started dancing. And feathers were like it was snowing. I opened my mouth to sing, and all the eagle down went down my throat, and it started tickling my throat, coughing, trying to get it out. But I guess my opposites were telling me something. Here it comes, next song we're going to do blows, caught ones on people. It's called Meditation. Oh. Evergreen State College, Longhouse, and their staff for inviting us here to be part of this most momentous occasion. It's good to see our people going on to higher learning. My boy is 39 years old. It took him 38 years to figure out what the heck he was going to do with his life. He's in his second year of college. But he's going to graduate. And then I won't have to worry about what he's going to do. That's up to him. But it's never too late to finish your degree. Shaw Duplat, her uncle, just graduated from the University of Alaska. He's 72 years old. Shaw will graduate next year behind her uncle from the University of Alaska. My wife will try to talk her into going to get her doctorates. She's also a teacher at the Chief Fletch High School in Puyallup. Been there for I don't know. I was in the service for 30 years, and I can tell a soldier what to do and they obey my order to the fullest. Tell a student that. That's a different story. I didn't get any sleep last night. There was too much noise. I didn't get enough to eat. My water was really bad. I couldn't drink any water. And you name any excuse you can get, and they'll give it to you. But as an elder, you've heard all those excuses before, and all you can do is shake your head in acknowledgement and move on. But I congratulate the graduates of Evergreen State College. It is one of the most prestigious art colleges, state college in the nation. You should be proud of this day. Thanks, faculty, for putting up. Not enough men to carry or to wear their regalia. There's a proper way that they give the women a high honor of carrying the regalia of their men. So, today is lesson number 1.
Thank you, guys. Wonderful. Wonderful. At this time, Tiny, can I have you please come back to the podium? He's on his way. At this time, I would like to thank Tiny and the Katia dancers for a wonderful presentation, and would like to offer a gift. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, the Honorable Robert Whitener Jr. The bio for Mr. Whitener Jr. is, he is a member of the Squaxin Island Tribe and co-owner and managing partner of the Whitener Group with his brother Ron. The Whitener Group is a consulting firm dedicated to the sustainability and advancement of tribes. The company advises Indian tribes as well as businesses and organizations that want to work with tribes to advance tribal objectives. Prior to the Whitener Group's establishment in 2009, Bob Whitener served as a CEO, board president for the Island Enterprises Incorporated, the tribe's economic development corporation, for more than 8 years. And before he created the Island Enterprises Incorporation, Bob served for over 6 years as the executive director of the Squaxin Island Tribe. Will you please help me welcoming Robert Whitener Jr.
Well, welcome to my country. This is Squaxin Island, and many of our people lived on each of these inlets, and the waterway here is still important to us. I get up every morning and look across from my house at the Evergreen State College. And I graduated from Evergreen in 1980 and 1990, and the school changed my life profoundly. And so anytime I have a chance, I come back and work with the groups and talk to especially the tribal students or the MPA program. And I have no idea why they would really ask me to speak in some ways, because I come and I talk about tax and governance and things that are quite boring to most people, but I find I'm kind of a junkie, and I think a lot of the students here that want to work for their tribes in the future identify with how do you do things in Indian country. And so today I'm going to talk about that. First, a proper introduction. You know, Robert is a little formal for me. In Indian country, I'm known as Bobby. Bob and Robert, usually I don't answer the phone or the mail that has that name on it. But my Indian name is actually Squeakwits, and it means dancing deer. And I'm going to talk about tribal leadership today and tell some stories. And I'm going to talk about what it is to be a tribal leader and how do you become a tribal leader. And we have some tribal leaders in the room. I work for tribal leaders is how I perceive myself, but Jeremy Sullivan is the chairman of Port Gamble-Sklallam. Pearl Copoman Ballard is the former president of Quinault. Nicey Tyson Johnston is on the council for Quinault Indian Nation. So I'm in a room, I know of these that I know tribal leaders, but there are tribal leaders here that I want to tell stories about. Not necessarily the three that are here. Although that would be fun. I won't do that. But just to talk a little bit about what dancing deer, did we in our communities think about tribal leadership, or did we pass down through oral tradition how to be a leader or what to do? And I think my name and the story that's associated with it was an illustration of how our people thought about leadership. And I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to greatly shorten the story as well. But the wolf people had stolen the fire, and the humans were freezing, and they didn't know what to do. So the deer people came and spoke to the humans and said, I think I can help you get the fire back from the wolf people. And so they said, well, that would be great. And how are you going to do that? And the deer said, I'm going to simply dance. And they said, that doesn't seem possible, but maybe it'll work. So the deer took cedar and tied it around all 4 of its legs and on its tail, and it began to dance. And when it danced, it mesmerized the wolf people. And the wolf people watched the deer dance. And the deer danced until it came right into the camp, danced across the fire, and then came back to the people. And when it got there, that cedar was on fire. And they gave the fire back to the people. And again, around here, if you've seen the deer, that's why they have the black forelegs and the black tail. So our people talked about leadership. They taught leadership. They wanted us to become tribal leaders. And that's what I want to talk about, is how and what is tribal leaders. And I'm really just going to hopefully inspire the students that are graduating and anybody else, because that person that just graduated at 72, which I think is great. My mother graduated from Evergreen. My daughter graduated from Evergreen. So we have 3 generations of Whiteners here. But let's talk about some stories of tribal leaders. A common thread to all of these stories is that they begin this way. You can't do that. You can't make that happen. So the first one is really, let's start with Joe Dela Cruz. And all of these stories, because I'm from Evergreen, are from primary sources. None of these are secondary. These are all people I knew and worked with. So just, if you're from Evergreen, you'll know why I'm saying that. But Joe Dela Cruz, Joe Talixon, Rudy Reiser, a number of other tribal leaders around the country said that tribes should be able to self-govern. That the Bureau of Indian Affairs shouldn't manage for tribes. Tribes should manage for tribes, and that's how it should happen. So this began first with, in the class, we talk a lot about self-determination and 638 and self-governance, but we'll talk about it here in a very simple way. The rights for tribes to govern themselves as governments as they were. And this was a radical concept. And I think it's hard for the youth today to know just how radical a concept that was at the time. This wasn't easy. The Bureau had a very paternalistic view of what you as tribal people could do, what I as tribal people could do. In terms of self-governance, at the time around us, and the word self-governance scares people around Indian country, outside of Indian country. What is that? Well, it's the ability to do things like have a say in your schools or on your health care, or all of the things that the non-Indian communities took for granted, tribes could not do. Joe Dela Cruz, Joe Talixon, Rudy Reiser, they brainstormed, they worked the process, they combined with other tribes around the country and found other leaders and pushed this through Congress, and we now are truly, in most ways, self-governing people. And we have extremely strong tribal staff. We have tribal accountants. We have tribal lawyers. We have, anything that you can imagine in Indian country, we have with our own people. Another story is, say, Billy Frank. And we've talked a lot about Billy Frank, and I think everybody's heard the stories of Billy fighting for fishing rights and being arrested 60 times. To me, that almost is secondary to what I admired him for. And that was when Billy Frank got up in front of a bunch of tribal people in a room like this and said, we've been fighting for so many years, and I think we should quit fighting. The room wasn't very happy. He said, we have co-management of the resources, but we don't have cooperative management of the resources, and we are going to fight until there are no fish left. And this was courageous because he had to do this in front of us, the tribal people, and convince us that it was time to lay down in effect, our arms. In this case, would be our attorneys with their pens. And there were some guns still out in the fishery at that point, but lay down that and take a new way of thinking. That changed the whole history of fisheries management in Washington State. Very courageous. And on the non-Indian side, there were some people like Bill Wilkerson, James Waldo, Raleigh Smitten. There were some courageous people on the other side today, then too. Story 3, Tim Wapato, another great tribal leader, and there was fish were being taken in Canada, and it was said no one can get Alaska to come to the table. And Lorraine Loomis and other tribal people in this area said, yeah, I think there's a way. Gary Morishima from Quinault. There was just this incredible team that was put together that said, yes, we can. And the Yakimas sued our friends and my relatives in Alaska and said that this treaty is not with Washington. This treaty is with the United States. And last time we checked, Alaska is part of the United States. And so they took a very controversial route and took a very high risk in order to get something back for our people. There's Jewel James at Lummi in IRS. He stood up in front of Slade Gorton and others and said, you cannot tax treaty fishing. And they said, you can't get this through Congress. It's impossible. You cannot do it. He spent 4 years living in Washington, D.C., trying to prove that you could do it. And he made friends with a senator that played basketball, Senator Bradley. Senator Bradley became a friend. He got 35 other friends, and the Senate became our friends, and the House of Representatives wasn't our friend for 4 years. And he figured out that Dan Rostenkowski from Chicago was who was stopping it. And after 4 years, he also figured out that Chicago wanted a new stadium for the White Sox. And they put it in a bill. And then we attached our bill to it. And it passed. So you have to root for the White Sox now and then if you're a treaty fisher, because we use them to get there. But the key is they said it couldn't be done. The senator that did that was named Slade Gorton. And Slade Gorton was one of the most powerful senators in the country. He was powerful, of course, in Washington, but he also did not care for tribal fishing rights. And I say that much lighter than I would in most situations. And Ron Allen, Cal Peters got together and decided that they would do what was called a third-party expenditure, which was again, a very new concept of a group taking on somebody without being associated with them. And they did that, and Slade Gorton was defeated. The tribes that year voted at 80% across this state. The margin of victory was in the tribal vote. So, very important things happen. Look around you at this longhouse. They told Mary Hilaire and Dave Whitener, you couldn't do it. You can't get it. You can't build this. It won't happen. It did happen. You're sitting in it. And they persevered. They had dinners. I was talking this morning with, I'm sorry, the name escaped me, but about the dinners that they used to have and raise money. And this was, before gaming and different things, to keep this dream alive. And I think this dream is a pretty good dream. And it's very tangible, and you stand in it, and you have your classes in it, and I come and speak in it. A wonderful, wonderful thing. So Mary Hilaire and Ron Allen and Pearl and Jeremy Tyson, what do they have in common? What makes them leaders? Well, let's do a few quotes, because that's what you do at graduation speeches. Confidence. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you cannot do. That was Eleanor Roosevelt. Decisiveness. The art of leadership is saying no, not saying yes. It's very easy to say yes. Tony Blair. Intuition. Insight is not a light bulb that goes off inside our heads. It's a flickering candle that can be easily snuffed out. Malcolm Gladwell. Values. In matters of style, swim with the current. In the matters of values, be a rock. Thomas Jefferson. Empathy. As we have no immediate experience of what other men feel, we can form no idea of the manner in which they are affected, but by conceiving what we ourselves should feel in their situation. Adam Smith. Risk tolerance, understanding. Live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Chief Tecumseh, Shawnee. Perseverance. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. Vision. A great vision is needed, and the man who has it must follow it as the eagle seeks the deepest blue of the sky. Crazy Horse, Oglala Lakota. Trust. This one's a little different because I always think about the government. And that's, if a man comes to your house with a conscious design of doing you good, you should run for your very life. That's Henry David Thoreau. And I use that a lot when I talk about the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Servitude. You are a servant of the people, and the people must come first. Norbert Hill, Oneida. And how about a solid foundation? Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. John F. Kennedy. So I would ask the graduates, these are common to these people. And if you know these people, it's the way they think. They don't quit. You know, try to work along Ron Allen for 3 weeks. He doesn't quit. He's like the ever-ready rabbit. You know, he perseveres. You know, Jewel James, you can't stop him. Once he is on a mission, he will not quit until the mission is accomplished. So what is your view? So what is your vision, and what do you want to do? And is part of your vision being a tribal leader? I would argue you have no choice. We're 2% of this population in the United States. Every tribal person will be an ambassador for the tribes. Whether you want to or not, you are an ambassador. People they don't know tribal people. They don't know Indians. And when they meet you, you know what it's like. What do you do? What does your tribe do? So I think consider yourself from the very beginning to be a tribal leader. Don't avoid it. And if you do work if you work outside the tribe, that's being a tribal leader. You don't have to work for your tribe to be a tribal leader. But if you do work for your tribe, I think it's good to find your purpose or let the purpose find you. It isn't always that we choose our paths in life. Sometimes our paths choose us. I didn't choose to become a tax person. You know, my chairman was arrested and taken out with machine guns. That changed my life, and tax became quite important to me as a Squaxin Island tribal member. The other is be a servant. You know, tribal leaders work hard. They do things that sacrifice their life, their family, and they do it because they serve, not because they want to be in the front. So, be confident, persevere, find your path, be relentless, be persistent. We don't always get to go forward. You know, sometimes persistence is stopping the tribes and tribal policies from going backwards, or not letting them go as backwards as they could go. So persevere, you'll find your way. And lastly, a tribal leader tries to create new tribal leaders. They want more. They're very generous. Here's a job. You go do it. And if you get the chance to assist tribal leaders, assist them to succeed. And guess what? You'll end up being one. Thanks.
Hold on, Bobby. And on behalf of the students of the RBCD program and the staff, we'd like to honor you with a gift. Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce our student speaker, Steve Yanish, who was selected by his peers to speak on behalf of the Res-Based program. And it's been a real delight to have Steve. I have actually a much longer bio that I'll save for later when we're formally recognizing his accomplishments. But it's been really great to get to know Steve and see all sides of the work he does up at Muckleshoot. I've been teaching up there this year, and so instead of just seeing Steve in the classroom, I've gotten to see him while he's at work 40 hours a week. And he's just the go-to guy for everything there, and everyone just adores him. And he's like a big lovable teddy bear in a way. and this is the third year he's worked on the graduation auction, and I thought that was an amazing accomplishment. But when you see him in action at Muckleshoot, the guy is a money-making machine, I'll tell you what. He just likes to help people out, raise money so that we can have all those extras like this meal and the Pendleton blankets, and he just steps right up to the plate, donated half the things that are back there. And so, Steve, you're on. Thank you so much.
First off, I would like to thank all the graduates for electing me, not for one detail, but two. Well, I'm gonna start it out. This journey wasn't easy, by far. They say the hardest things comes to those who wait, but this has been one of the easiest decisions I've ever made in my life, and that was to return to school. I started out my pathway 6 years ago in recovery. And today I celebrate over 6 years in sobriety. And to top of that off, I'm receiving my bachelor's today. Who would have ever thought? But today I wouldn't be able to stand up here or stand in front of anybody if it hasn't been for my family, my classmates. Not to mention all the faculty that's, been a part of my life in both Northwest and Evergreen. But let's get away from the heart-touching stuff. But, this has been a journey of my life, and I'm a witness to it. It can be done, To start out, second life, second chance. That's what I live for. Everybody deserves it. Everybody needs it. You can only do so much in the first chance before you make a mistake, but it's how you correct your mistakes and live the rest of your life. This program has done that for me. It's given me an opportunity. You guys stop crying back there. You're making me cry. But it's given me an opportunity to be myself, be the person I was meant to be. And it's the greatest decision I've ever made in my life. I can never argue the fact of the things that we've learned in this program, dealing with multitudes of tribal operations to economic development to even putting together a simple program that me and my classmates did last year is joining together in rehabilitation of our tribes. You know, one first thing is second step programs. You know, what comes after recovery? What comes after, you know, the first year transition into living? You know, it's things like that that made me want to continue and get my education, and you know, it's what's kept me alive and kept me going. You know, I sat around 2 weeks ago and had a meeting with my immediate supervisor and the director of higher education in Muckleshoot, and they're pushing for me to go get my master's in sociology or social health. And you know, it's one thing to live your life and do what you need to do, but it's also right to give back. You know, I plan on giving back to my tribe, giving back to my schools, my friends, my family, just in all. It's a tremendous feeling. It's a worthwhile thing to do, and it's hard to compare to the life I was living before to now, and it's got me still stuttering and my heart's still beating, because it was just not that long ago that I was running amok and not caring about life, and here it is. I'm caring about tomorrow. I'm caring about what it is I'm gonna do with my next step, what it is I'm gonna give back to my children, what it is, you know, I'm gonna give back to my elders, my family, you know. But on this note, I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, because, you know, we all want to graduate. But once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out today and enjoying this. So thank you.
And so one thing about Steve, if you notice, he's kind of herky, right? And he likes to sit up to the table and chow down on a good meal, right? And so it's pretty enjoyable, because I like to cook, right? And so I bring all the food in here for Saturday class, and he'll ask me, you know, what are you fixing? But one day I found out how much he likes to cook, right? And so Steve's quite the cook himself, and he gets going and does full production. So we had just a few things here for you, Steve, to say thank you for all the work you've done in student governance. And starting with, so you can have one of your cook-offs. And your own chef's hat, and a way to sort of spread the sauce around. So, so thank you, Steve. And I just got to say, you know, one thing about Steve, I went back and introduced myself to his parents, but his family is his life, and he talked about his family all through the years that I have known him, and I think I could relate just about every story about his family, and especially his mother, and how much he loves you and how much you care for him, and it's quite touching. And the thing about Steve is that no matter who leaves at Muckleshoot, they don't leave before he tells them, I love you, I love you. Sometimes he'll say it 2 and 3 times. So I think that's a special person. So thank you, Steve. Okay, so I think we're on to the next part, right?
Thank you, guys. Before we take a look at the year-end pictures, I've been asked to request the graduates and the faculty gathered now at the back of the hall in preparation for the procession, and you can watch a presentation from there. So at this moment, can we get all RBCD and Grays Harbor graduates in the back?
They'll learn much more myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dream that you dare to, why, oh why can't I? Way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, the dream that you dare to. Why, oh why can't
Okay, and so now if you will join me in honoring our graduates who will be coming in now. Yeah, let's hear it for these guys, huh? Okay, and so to start with, I'm going to introduce Gary Arthur from Grace Harbor College, who will be introducing the AA graduates from Grace Harbor. So, Gary.
Thank you, Cindy. Very excited to be able to have this opportunity today to honor our graduates. Tough act to follow. That was a very moving slideshow there and very inspirational. And I guess inspiration is one thing that a word I think of when I think of the work that our graduates and that our students do in our program. And so you know, their perseverance and their dedication and their hard work is certainly worth acknowledging. And we want to start by reading a little bit about each one of them. I would have Jacqueline McCauley come forward first. So, while earning her degree through the reservation-based program at Grace Harbor College, Jackie started by taking one class at a time to make sure she would not overwhelm herself while she worked full-time. This is kind of a common denominator with a lot of our students, is their work schedules and their family schedules. It's amazing the things that they can do. Jackie said, "I found a way to balance out being full-time student and working full-time, as well as being a mom to 3 wonderful kids. So I believe if I can find a way to get my education, then anyone can." Her daughter, Chase, is 14. Her son, Tutsum, is 10. Did I say that right? And her youngest daughter, Kennedy, is 5. She also raises her younger sister, who is 15 and living with her family. Besides work, school, and raising a family, any spare time is taken up with running all her kids to sports practices and their activities. Jackie enjoys going to all the activities that are available to her and her family. Jackie says, "I love to spend time with my family. When I have free time, we like to be outside as much as we can. We go hiking, camping, biking, and swimming when it is nice." Jackie and her family love to watch the Seahawks and Mariners while eating hot wings. Great choice, yeah. Jackie also works for the Quinault Indian Nation as an intern caseworker. She has been doing this for almost 3 years now and has been with the nation for just about 7 years. Jackie says, "I drive to Tahoe, Washington from my home in Aberdeen. It's about 45 minutes each way, but worth it because I love the people and all my coworkers. I'm doing what I love and what is helping people when they need it." So congratulations, Jackie. besides presenting our graduates, they will get their degree at our regular graduation, but we have a certificate of appreciation, and also we are gifting these Pendleton makeup bags. So thank you, Jackie. Very good. Congratulations. Alyssa Johnston. Alyssa is from the Quinault Indian Nation and has lived in Tohola, Washington since the first grade. She expresses that Quinault is indefinitely her home and plans to be a res girl as long as she lives. There are many roles within Alyssa's world, but first and foremost comes motherhood to her 5-year-old son, Hazel. Hazel just graduated Quinault Head Start and will start kindergarten this fall. Alyssa says, calling him my pride and joy would definitely be an understatement. He gives me life and motivation and a love that taught me what love actually means, a feeling that is so indescribable. Raising him helped me figure out even more who I am, and for that, I am forever grateful. Next to being a mom, being a family member and a friend are definitely high on the list of roles for Alyssa. She is very appreciative of all the support and very, very grateful for the loving people in her life. Alyssa says, I wouldn't be me if it weren't for my family, members, and friends who surround me, and they deserve so much credit for the person I am today. I'm proud of my accomplishments and thank them for that. But not least on Alyssa's list of roles is the importance of education. Alyssa says, I love being a college student, but what's best about educating myself is that there are many outlets of learning outside of college as well that allows me to learn and gain knowledge. Since Alyssa is dedicated to Quinault, she plans to gain as much experience with her education as possible and then use her knowledge and skills for the betterment of her Quinault people. Currently, Alyssa is working 2 part-time positions as legal assistant for Quinault's public defender and an after-school program coordinator for Tohola School District. Alyssa says, I love both my jobs very much. I discovered that I love to work with children and families directly, as I respect and care for each one of our members that love and love that I can assist them through my jobs. Alyssa's educational goals will continue beyond the completion of her Associate of Arts degree at Grays Harbor College. Alyssa recently applied for the Bachelor of Arts in Integrated Social Science program at UW, University of Washington, and is waiting an acceptance letter this summer. Very good. Roxanne Lignow. Roxanne is the daughter of Charlene Hawks and James Lignow. Roxanne is an enrolled member of the Quinault tribe located in Tohola, Washington. Roxanne has made the President's Honor Roll list twice for completing 12 college credits during each quarter while maintaining a grade point average of 3.5 or higher. Outstanding. She credits her 2 sons, Mikhail and Cordell, as the ones who inspired her most to go to college. Roxanne said, seeing her youngest son's strength through his struggles inspires me that I can do it too. My sons inspire me to do my best every day. Also, my boyfriend Royal, who has provided me with support that enables me to make it to each class by helping me with my sons. Without them, it would have been impossible. While attending school, Roxanne is employed full-time by the Quinault Nation, where she works as the lead in contract health services. She also volunteers as her children's schools and supports the PTA. Roxanne started back to school in 2012 after her youngest son turned 2 years old. Returning to school has always been part of her life plan, but in 2012, she told herself, now was the time to take care of herself and return to teach her children the value and importance of getting an education. After graduation, Roxanne plans on making more goals, such as having a job where she can grow while nurturing her education, She plans to continue with her education and seeks to earn her bachelor's degree. Roxanne shared what she looks forward to celebrating her accomplishment, and through this strives to make her family proud. She will be the first in her family to reach this goal and milestone. She hopes to inspire the rest of her family that anything is possible if you are willing to try. Roxanne hopes to get a positive example for her young children who are 5 and 7. She first heard about the reservation-based degree program at the Evergreen State College through meetings with other Native students who shared experiences about the problems within their communities. She found that they all shared a common goal. They wanted change. They knew this could only happen through education. The message that Roxanne would like to send to others about going to school is, it is never too late. We've heard that tonight, haven't we? The hard part is actually enrolling. Before you know it, you will have your degree. Soon you will be so proud of yourself, and you will be understand educational benefits. You will understand that education benefits you in the end. You will be educated and unstoppable. Congratulations, Roxanne.
Okay, thank you to our Grace Harbor graduates, and I was thinking Roxanne, Alyssa, and Jackie, it wasn't very long ago you were in my speech class, right? Doing a body speech and a demonstration speech and making all those things, yeah. And here you are graduating, so congratulations. And I'd like to thank President Ed Brewster for supporting this program. Our partnership with Grace Harbor started in 2005, and it's been rolling strong ever since. And with Gary Arthur here, who just was announcing people, he's always been teaching the health class, the online health class, which is by far one of the most popular classes in our AA program. And Lorena Maurer, who started up this year, and I think what our numbers have just jumped right off the chart. She's just out there recruiting, so we appreciate the efforts of our Grace Harbor partnership. Thank you. And I also see at least two, there's probably more, who went through the Grace Harbor program. So Debbie and Michael, give a cheer there. Debbie was in our first, she was in our first cohort of students that started at Grace Harbor, and she's been pushing through ever since, just really a strong arm for us down there at Quinault. And Michael just recently graduated. He'll be walking on the campus this coming Friday, so we appreciate Michael and his continuing support even since he graduated. Thank you, Michael. And our Peninsula College folks couldn't be here. There were a couple of passings, and so they wanted to extend their thanks for the invitation, but they weren't able to be here, and so I'll be announcing the Peninsula College graduates. But I wanted to start with Melissa Williams, and she's actually unable to come today, and we're very sorry about that. But the one thing that's more important than education is your family, right? And she's a proud member of the Spokane tribe, and she's lived most of her life in Welpanet, Washington. She was raised by her grandmother, Nancy Williams, on the Spokane Indian Reservation, where she resided for almost 46 years. And her grandmother was Melissa's caregiver while she grew up. And Melissa, she says that her heart is always with the Spokane people, and she will always be with them in one way or another. And we sort of borrowed her from Spokane, is the way I think about it. And she went out to Peninsula and was recruited into our program. And she was in my ethnobotany class. I was thinking we were right over here one day listening to a really good presentation by some guest speakers. And she was just right there, right in line with everything they were saying. And she was called back to return to Spokane and unable to attend her own graduation. But I wanted to honor her, and this is being videotaped, and students, we miss her, right, today? But we want to honor and respect her, so thank you very much, Melissa, for all your hard work. And now I'd like to call up Jessica Humphreys. So Jessica Humphreys is a student from Peninsula College, and she finished her AA degree in the AA Bridge program. And she started her classes back in the fall of 2012-13, not knowing where it would take her, but she is pleased with where she is now. And she has 2 young children who are out in the audience, Cameron, 7, and Naomi, 4, that keep her very busy outside of school. And her family is very close and has been the foundation of her education from the start to the very end. And she says that she couldn't have done it without her sister-in-law, have a wave there, Rachel Martin, and her mom, Wendy Humphreys. They were always there to help watch the kids when homework was due and stress was high. And while at Peninsula College, Jessica was involved with many aspects of student life. She volunteered with events related to the Longhouse and spreading the awareness of the cultural importance of the Longhouse to other students. She was the president of the Shades of Color Club for 2014-15 and helped plan many trips and events related to the club's work in diversity and awareness on campus. And in fall 2014, Jessica was sought out by the president. That's him. No, the president at Peninsula, sorry, to serve on the Associate Student Council and became the financial director for 2014-15 school year. Jessica has told many people this graduation is really for her children because that's who she is doing this for. Jessica is a member of the Jamestown Sklallam tribe and has also attributed her success to the tribe's financial contributions to her education and all the dedicated staff that is available to help at any time. She has also been able to make great relationships with many of the advisors and faculty at Peninsula College who are so dedicated to helping her to complete her goals. During the summer months, Jessica is employed at the tribe's children's program where they teach the Sklallam songs and dances to children 5 to 11. And as she continues to move forward with her education, she hopes to obtain a permanent position within the social service department at Jamestown, where she can help families and children stay connected to their cultural ties with the tribe. And as her teacher and as the advisor for student governance, she is just on fire to not only advance her own education, but the education of everyone at the school there and everyone in the larger Peninsula area. And I've noticed that she has exceptional leadership skills. She stepped right up to the plate and was active until Peninsula sort of stole her away to be involved in their student activities program, but was here in student governance and is really the reason behind the huge discount that we're getting for the Pendleton blankets, because she says, hey, my mom works at the gift shop at Jamestown Sklallam. I think we can get a deal. And so this is the second year, I thought it was the third year, but the second year that we've gotten this really nice discount. And even though Jessica hasn't been here this year because she was finishing up her other degree requirements, she's had her hand on things that were being done here that benefited all of the students. So we'd like to recognize her for all of her work and congratulate her, and they have a little gift here for you. So this is from Amy and Leora and all the folks at Peninsula to say thank you to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Wendy Humphreys. I told her I was going to call on her. You just wave your hand, but you know, she's so helpful in the process of getting the blankets and ordering them and making sure we've got them right and the first, second, and third choice. And it's quite an undertaking, and I think people don't really realize that. And so I got to meet her this year, so instead of just be talking back and forth, I got to actually go up there and get the blankets that we're going to be distributing next. But I wanted to thank Wendy for all of her help, and Ron Allen. So thank you. Okay, and so next we will start the students who graduated with their bachelor's degree today from what we call the upper division with the Evergreen State College. And so people can come in either as a direct transfer or come in with their AA. It's really their option. And so I'd like to introduce Mary Dupuy, who is the faculty not only at our Nisqually site, but also our Chehalis site, which just started this year. And so with the Chehalis site, we don't have any graduates this year, but I wanted to honor Mary's work there and then have her come up as the Nisqually site faculty to introduce the graduates from that site. If you want to just say whatever you want to say, it's fine too.
No, it doesn't matter. Cherie Edwards. Aw, congratulations. Cherie and I have an agreement that we're not going to cry. All the students this year wrote bios for the faculty to have more information as we introduced them. And Cherie said, you know, you can just wing it. But thankfully, I was able to track down a bio for Cherie. So although I feel confident I could have winged it, I got it. Cherie Edwards is a single parent of 2 adult children. Cherie has a 24-year-old son and a 20-year-old daughter. Cherie graduated from Grays Harbor College with her AAS in Human Services and transferred to the Evergreen State College in fall of 2012. The first year at Evergreen State College, Cherie was enrolled in a program called Minds at Work, which was a sociology and education-driven program located in Grays Harbor. It wasn't until fall of 2013 when she transferred into the reservation-based community development program located at the Nisqually site. During her education at the Evergreen State College, she was given the opportunity to do an internship at the Family Support Center located in Olympia, which was the hub for the homeless community. At the Family Support Center, Cherie volunteered as a homeless shelter host where she greeted the homeless families. Also, she volunteered her time working at the office where she assisted with intakes and encouraging the clients to utilize the services offered through the Family Support Center. Cherie's dream job would be in any position helping people become self-sufficient and helping other students be successful on their road to obtaining their education. Cherie's heart is definitely the heart of a social worker. She is a very positive person and will truly be an asset to wherever she ends up. I have to say that I've been honored to teach Cherie. Now I'm going to tear up for the last 2 years. It's been so wonderful working with you. You good? Okay.
I just want to, first off, thank my family for being here and supporting me on this day. It's a huge milestone for myself. It's been a rough year for me, but I did it. The beginning of the year in the fall, I started with 7 credits, and finally getting them done this quarter. My world's been turned upside down. I lost my father at the end of March, but I continued on. And I just want everybody to know if I can do it, y'all can do it too. And I think one of the biggest weapons we as Native Americans can have is our education. And there's lots of opportunities and scholarships out there, and I hope that my children follow in my footsteps as well as a few of my family members. And I just want to thank Mary for her time and her support, as well as Cindy. I've had to call them a few times in the stress of everything going on, and they've always been very supportive of my dream, and I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for their support.
I knew you were going to make me tear up. Yes. Cherie, apparently we forgot the diplomas. Which way do they start? Okay, just anyone. you go. Congratulations. You're welcome. So far, this has gone very smoothly. Teresa Graham. Teresa is an enrolled Muckleshoot and is a descendant of the Starr family. Her grandmother is Emma Starr, daughter of Philip Starr. Her parents are Fred Geyser and Patty Kinswaw Geyser. Teresa also has 2 grown sons, David and Jonathan Graham, whom she states are her main inspiration for obtaining a higher education degree. Teresa currently resides in Lewis County, where she has been for 5 years. She volunteers weekly at Safe Family Ministries, a transitional home for women and their children, helping women to reclaim their own lives and restore broken relationships. She is also a regular volunteer with an outreach program for her church, the Jesus Name Pentecostal Church, where she helps feed the homeless on Sunday afternoons. Teresa hopes to go on to graduate school to earn a Master of Social Work degree and is currently working toward that. She hopes to be able to advocate for the less fortunate and help improve the quality of life for those she will serve. Congratulations, Teresa.
I just want to thank everybody who's made this possible and helped me through this. My parents for helping me with my transportation issues sometimes, and my pastor for supporting me, and all the teachers that have helped me with my papers and encouraging me. Thank you very much.
I think Teresa has been my student that has grown the most over the last 2 years. And I say it to her every time because I'm so proud of her, but she started out very shy and she didn't really talk to any of our students the first quarter. And then gradually she's become more comfortable becoming a student and knowing everybody else in the program. And she has completed the year in as an officer in the travel governance, and she has just come so far these past 2 years, and she is, I'm just so proud of you, Teresa. I can't even express how proud I am.
Okay, and then the next group of students are from the Muckleshoot side, and so I'd like to have Amber come up. Finally, huh? It just seems like yesterday when Amber came in, I can still remember the first day she came to class, and it's been really great having her here. So this is Amber Stayroot Hayward, and Amber is an enrolled Puyallup tribal member and is the daughter of Michael Stayroot, a Puyallup tribal member, and Consola Hayward, Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribal member. She graduated from Highline School in Seattle, Washington in 1998, and after graduation, Amber chose to work full-time and pursued her associate's degree at Highline Community College. And after moving to Tacoma, she finished her associate's degree at Tacoma Community College in 2005. And while finishing her degree, Amber worked part-time at the Puyallup Tribe of Indians Accounting Department as an intern. And in 2004, a job opening came up in the Puyallup Tribe's Historic Preservation Department, and Amber was hired as a research assistant. Amber worked in the Historic Preservation Department with tribal elder and historian Judy Wright, who mentored her for approximately 10 years. She gained a tremendous amount of knowledge about the Puyallup tribal history, in addition to life and hard work experience that she could not have learned anywhere else in the world. Amber experienced a career change in 2011 when she began working in the Puyallup tribal language as a language program as a language instructor. And during this time, with the prompting of Mrs. Wright, Amber enrolled in the Evergreen State College in the reservation-based community determined program in spring 2013. During Amber's 8-year hiatus from school, she took the information that she had learned and brought it into the workplace. She was able to use the knowledge that she gained through her mentors, and she applied that knowledge to earn her bachelor's degree in Native American Studies. Amber has been able to directly apply the knowledge gained through the reservation-based program to the work she does for her tribe. And Amber's time at school has been incredibly rewarding, and she's been able to set a good example for her children in pursuing her higher education. And she hopes that she can show others that it's possible to work a full-time job, to raise one's children, and to obtain a bachelor's degree. And I have to say that in the time that I've known Amber, I have never seen a person who was more disciplined, more hardworking, more self-directed, and accomplishing many things all at once. And I honestly don't know how she does it. And she sets the bar. She sets a goal for herself, and she just keeps working at it. And you could see from her leading us in the prayer this morning, speaks her native tongue for many hours a day and is very committed to teaching that to everyone within her locale. And I know that we are going to continue to see really great things from Miss Amber. So congratulations, Amber. Would you like to say a word?
Thank you very much, Cindy. And I just would like to thank my family and friends that came today, because I definitely would not have gone through school without them watching and helping my kids and supporting me, telling me not to quit and, to keep going, you're almost done. So I appreciate all of you guys for being here, and for my son Amani and my other son Avery, who's not here too. Thank you all.
Thank you, Amber. Okay, and now I'd like to call Steve Yanish up. So Stephen Yanish is a senior in the reservation-based community determined program at the Evergreen State College, and he attended classes at the Muckleshoot site, and his parents are Richard and Ivy Yanish. Steve is the youngest of 3 boys, and he was born and raised in Tacoma, Washington, and attended the Tacoma Public Schools. Steve was enrolled at the Skokomish tribe when he was born, but enrolled at Muckleshoot about 8 years ago. Steve said some bad times made him move to Muckleshoot, but getting his education helped to bring him back to where he wanted to be. Steve became a professional student since seeing the light almost 6 years ago, and he started his path with Northwest Indian College and then graduated with an associate's degree in Native Studies from there. Steve is very active in the reservation-based program. Last year, he was chair of the auction, where he solicited many donations that helped to offset the cost of graduation, including the gifting of the Pendleton blankets to all of the res-based graduates. The students were so impressed by his work that he was voted in as site representative for the Muckleshoot site and is now the chair of student governance. Steve shared that learning to help students is fascinating work, and directing the work of student governance helped him to develop his leadership skills. He has also been learning about the use of Robert's Rules of Order that guides the committee work. Steve also accepted the role of chair of the graduation auction, which makes him the first ever in terms of a graduating senior accepting this challenge. This means he is working hard to top himself from last year's record. So we'll find out if he did. Steve said that the res-based program has given him back the fundamentals to see clearly what he wanted to become and how he can give back to the community that took him in with open arms so many years ago. Steve enjoys helping other students so much that he accepted the position of administrative assistant at the Muckleshoot Tribal College, where he is employed full-time. And besides being the friendly face that greets you at the door, Steve is responsible for responding to all sorts of questions all day long. And as I mentioned earlier, Steve really has a winning way about him. He recently went to an education conference up in Alaska, and all of the staff came back from the Muckleshoot Tribal College and said, what would we do without Steve? He made sure that they were all safe, that they all got to each of their destinations on time. He checked in to make sure, are you home? Are you back? Are you tucked in? Or everything going well with you? Do you need anything? Is there anything I can get for you, you know? He just is right there, so helpful with everyone. I really can't say enough good words about him, and so I want to thank Steve from the bottom of my heart for all the work he did in student governance. So congratulations, and don't forget your diploma.
Like I said earlier, this all wouldn't have been possible without, you know, the guidance of the tribe, my parents, my baby girl, my daughters, you know, pushing me and making sure I do what I need to do, you know. Thank you.
Steve selected the Dreamcatcher blanket, especially has meaning for him in his sobriety, about keeping the good dreams as part of your life and letting the bad dreams just be caught and go away. So thank you, Steve, for all that you've done. And next I'd like to call up Cheryl Miller. Cheryl is our first student graduating from the Port Gamble Sklallam Tribe site today, and I actually knew of Cheryl from several years ago when she first went to work at Skokomish. She's deeply committed to social services and social work, and she's an enrolled member of the Assiniboine Sioux tribe from Montana. And one of her personal goals was to finish her bachelor's degree, where she began years ago at the University of Montana. And the reservation-based program helped her to fulfill that goal. And Cheryl feels that she has been extraordinarily lucky in her career, starting as an Indian child welfare caseworker for the Suquamish and Port Gamble Sklallam tribe in the late 80s, and then working for the Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, for the state of Washington. And come on up and take your pictures, that's fine. And at DCFS, Cheryl was the ICW Regional Compliance Program Manager, Social Worker 3, and the Regional Program Manager for Indian Policy. That's fine, right here. And so Cheryl became the director for Tuwaduk, did I say that right? Tuwaduk. Family Services for the Skokomish tribe for 8 years before being offered the job of Community Services Division Director at the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe, a job that she truly loves. And Cheryl has served on the board of directors for Kitsap Mental Health, Kitsap Human Rights Network, and the United Way of Mason County. Cheryl believes in giving back to the community where she lives and works. Cheryl is married to her wonderful husband, Craig, and they have a total of 6 children and 6 grandchildren who are the loves of Cheryl's life. And Cheryl, she just really is a busy person, going to lots of conferences to advance her knowledge, and winning this huge award for Port Gamble this year, and was at a national conference and received honors for that. And she's just truly an amazing person, and I'm so happy to say you've graduated. Congratulations. Yeah. And a big prize.
I would just like to thank my family, who was always supportive of me, my husband for putting up with me being gone a lot, my employer who allowed me to study for a couple hours a week. I appreciate it. To the extraordinary group of women that I went to school with at Port Gamble, they were fabulous, and all the students here, so thank you.
What happened? What? Oh. So the next person I'd like to call up is Miss Juliana Sullivan. So Juliana, she wrote a little bio here, and I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll read this. But those of us who know her, what a lively, wonderful, talented, intelligent, committed lady in the field of environmental sciences. I mean, she is a powerhouse. And so I will read her bio. Juliana Sullivan is an enrolled member of the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe, the oldest daughter of Chad and Angela Sullivan, who she talks about a lot. And she was born and raised on the Little Boston Reservation in Kingston, Washington. Juliana is a marine biologist for the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe's Habitat Research and Monitoring Program for the Natural Resources Department, and she loves her job and appreciates her boss and her coworker for supporting her way through school from the very beginning of her journey. And with love and support from her friends and family, she would like to thank her sister Maddie for always helping her and being there for her in any time of need, and her boyfriend Joe for always reminding her that she can do it and to keep at it. Being a student at Evergreen has really opened doors for Juliana in many more ways than just one. She's accepted the role this past year of being the student governance secretary and during her graduating year, and she became a published author of a case study and presented it to her peers. She values the knowledge of the other students and her teachers in the res-based program and respects their input and views on the unique topics from where the curriculum, and truly gains new critical thinking skills that allows her to grow as a scholar. Now, my first experience with Juliana was when she was in my speech class, and she came in and carrying ropes and all these gear and taught us how to tie knots. And I realized I don't know how to crochet, and I don't do well with tying rope knots either. And it just felt hard, and she was so adept at it. But she takes her skills as a diver and applies them to her rock climbing, and mentors youth with that. And in every way I can see, she's just an amazing person, a scholar of the first degree. Her papers, maybe I needed 7 or 10 pages, I'd get 40 pages. And they were so solid and so dense and so informational. I just am overwhelmed by the quality of her work and how much she cares about her scholarly effort. And so, Juliana, thank you so much for all your hard work. And here's your diploma. Would you like to share a few words? Are you sure? Okay. Juliana. The next person is Lena Tunkara. So Lena, if you'd like to come up. So Lena's been in our program for a couple years, and I guess maybe a little, yeah, and has been a recipient of a scholarship and has just really transformed her way of kind of looking at the world. I mean, she is probably one of the hardest working ladies I know. And I honestly think that all of our ladies at Port Gamble, they're just a group of solid students that work very hard, and especially in their jobs to advance their work. And so Lena shares that she is a member of the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe, born and raised on the reservation. She is the daughter of Susan and Curtis Hanna, and the daughter of Stella and Robert Carpenter, and Avis and Raymond Hanna. She is the wife of Haji Tunkara and the mother of Hawa Tunkara, Inez Cusick, and Tillen Cusick. In 2001, Lena graduated from North Kitsap High School and immediately began working for her tribe as a teacher's assistant. assistant. And in 2006, she transferred to and became the child support case manager for the tribe's child support program. In 2011, Lena graduated from Northwest Indian College with an associate's degree. Lena has many roles within her community aside from being a case manager. Lena is also a foster parent and a member of the Port Gamble Sklallam Tribal Council. Now, that happened while she was a student. So can you imagine being a full-time mom, a full-time worker, child support, and then getting voted into, and then having 2 babies? And so she's been busy. And she just kept at it. And so the res-based program, Lena says, was a great fit because class time was scheduled after work hours, and the program has a very unique curriculum. After graduation, Lena plans to continue to work for her tribe and stay dedicated to the positive changes that are happening within her community. Lena's love and dedication will always be with her tribe. And I have to say, Lena's commitment to her community is evident in every single thing she does, in every paper she's done. She would work to the fullest ability to get down all the information about the latest promising practices in child support, and really took her studies seriously when she could have exercised an option that would make it easier on herself. She said, oh, no. And then put out some papers that were even longer. So very well documented. She's a researcher, and we're just love to have you on board, Lena. You've done a marvelous job. Congratulations. Yeah, so would you like to share? Don't forget your diploma here, okay? This is ours.
I just want to say thank you so much to my family. They're in the back there. Woohoo! Hi. I just thank my mom, my dad, my sisters for all the love and support, my tribe for, offering wonderful scholarships and supporting education to the fullest. Hi, baby. I want to thank my husband for always putting up for my constant complaining and nagging, and I wanted to quit. There was one time where it was probably about, I think it was like 1 a.m, and I was like crying, saying, I cannot get this paper done. I got to get up and go to school the next Saturday. And he sat next to me and was like, we're going to get this done. You're going to get through this. And I never got a chance to thank him for that. So I just want to thank everybody for all their love and support. All the girls that I went to school with, I couldn't have done it without you guys. And woohoo, I'm finished. Woo!
Okay, and then we have one more student who was unable. Aww. Now, just in case you didn't know this, if you come to the campus graduation, they let you walk with your kids. So a lot of people go across the line there, the aisle. So just think about it, because that would be adorable, Lena, to have your daughter come up there like that with you. So our final student who graduated from the Port Gamble site is Jennifer Yeaman, and she was unable to be here today, and she also had a very good reason, because her son was graduating from boot camp in the Air Force down in San Antonio, Texas. And so, again, a great reason to be gone, but we're sorry, and we're videotaping this again so that she can be participant in it. So, hi, Jennifer. So Jennifer is a graduating senior from the Evergreen State College reservation-based program, and she transferred in from Kitsap County's Olympic College, where she received an associate's degree in both industrial trades, technology, and leadership and occupational studies. Ms. Yeaman is a civil service employee holding the position of process improvement manager. Jennifer is also a member of her employer's Diversity Leadership Council and Employee Resource Group. Ms. Yeaman plans to use her education to promote a culture of inclusion and diversity in the workplace. And I just wanted to share that Jennifer was also a very hard worker on all of her papers, took a lot of diligence and effort to research all of her sources and put together a really well-constructed paper. And she's just been a great student and a model student in every way. We've really enjoyed having her. So congratulations, Jennifer, and really nice to have the families that graduate together. And I just wanted to honor Cheryl Miller, the auntie, and Jennifer, the niece. So we had that combination going on this whole time. So we'll give you her diploma. So thank you. Okay, and then finally we have April, if you'd like to come up. So April, she's just one of these special people that come along once in a while. And she has worked very, very hard. And she's the head of the domestic violence shelter at the Swinomish tribe. And she worked hard, worked her way through Northwest Indian College, and then came into the res-based program and was attending at the Tulalip site, and has been doing a contract over this past year. And she's been kind of a study in persevering despite challenges, right? And her work is stellar. She's so dedicated to her community and the work that she does. And the papers that she has developed have just covered all sorts of ground about women's studies, issues, social conflict, domestic violence. She's very much interested in advancing her work so that she can be as much help as possible to her own community, where she plans to live forever and ever. And she's written so many beautiful papers that are so full of emotion and experience and dedication, and I just can't say enough about how proud I feel of her, and told her so this morning when I sent her a little text, because today's the day, right? So congratulations, April.
Thank you, Cindy. Yes, my name is April James, and I'm from the Swinomish tribe. My name is Achpianak, and it is such an honor to finally be here. 3 years ago, when I first traveled to the Tulalip site, I sat there in my classroom, my first day of class, and I was sitting there in fear of the unknown. You know, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to be doing? And all of these things flooded through me, and I just was not sure how I was going to do this. 3 years seemed like a very far away, and now here I am today. I want to thank a few people that helped me get here. First of all, I want to thank my family and my friends, my dad, my brother. I have three daughters here, Clarissa, Bonnie, Isabel. My sister Leslie joined. I want to thank the Swinomish tribe for the generous scholarships that they've awarded me each time. I also want to thank the Muckleshoot tribe. You know, I got scholarships from the Muckleshoot tribe, and for me it was incredible that another tribe is going to help another tribal member from a different area. I spoke to a classmate yesterday, and I said there are 3 things that I could do before I'm 50, and 50 for me is in 4 years. I could, I'm already accomplishing my BA. I could get married in 4 years, but that's a long shot. I can run for Senate with the Swinomish tribe, so you know, I want to tell the Swinomish people, watch out, here I come, right? But that could be another 10 years, who knows? I could go back to school and get my MSW, my Master's in Social Work at the UW. But what I said yesterday is from here, there's only one way to go, and that's up. And I'm going to get there, and I'm not going to stop. So before I finish, I would like to leave you with something with me and my family would like to sing an honor song. Because there's only one time that I'm going to have this graduation with my bachelor's. And I want my family to please come below and join me so we can sing our honor song for my classmates and for everybody who's joined. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for doing that. Thank you, April. Okay, and so I think that we got all of our graduates, right? Didn't leave anyone out? Okay, and so the next part is before we're going to have the drawing for the Pendleton blankets, so if you'd like to make your way up here. And before we conclude, while they're walking up here, we'd like to honor some of the people who have been a big part of today's ceremony. I'm not sure, I think Tom Mercado might have left, the Director of Student Activities, who helps facilitate all of the funds and the purchasing and planning, and for directing the work of the Student Governance Committee. And thank you to the graduates and other affiliated people who came here today in one way or another. Our alumni, if you could stand, that came here today to help. Quite a few people. And students, even today, we've got, if you two want to stand, and whoever else, Janice and Sandra, anyone else who helped pitch in today. There was a lot of setup and teardown work to do. And thanks to Steve Yanish again and everyone else who pitched in to help out with coordinating the graduation auction and raffle. And thank you to Abigail Hall, Kristen Stewart, Kim Burdick, and everyone else who helped out with everything today. Naomi Austin and Abigail Hall, our alumni who helped to wrap people. And again, to the Jamestown S'Klallam tribe for giving us such a wonderful discount of these blankets at actual wholesale price. And we'd like to thank all of you as witnesses for recognizing the student governance and the leadership work that they did in graduation. And those of you who are still going to stay or came in late to help out just to clean up. We've had people coming today just to clean up. That's pretty amazing commitment. And I'd like to thank the folks at Electronic Media. You folks have been great for putting together our movie and videotaping. We really appreciate your work. And thank you to all the tribal education departments who are represented here today and all the work they do for us. And so we'll have the drawing. You want to announce the winner?
Hans D.
See, that's your well-appreciated coordinator, worker there, Juliana. Yeah. Great. And all of the other raffle items will be available after the processional with our graduates. And so we always do that one right up in front of everyone. And so let's see here. And now we'd like to conclude our graduation ceremony with a closing prayer from Amber. So if you'd like to come up, Amber. And after she says her prayer, I'd like to thank you all on behalf of the graduates and the faculty team. Thank you for attending today and witnessing this important event. And after her prayer, we'll have the recessional of the graduates and faculty and meet out here in the hall.
Twa gwalabu da isha da siayaya. As korida chach twa bak gwalabu isha chach siayaya chach o ak o kwakwa da busalap. O gwichit quis la ochlap o tok gwa globalap gwa hilap til ishadlap til siayaya lap. Techech de boot chalap, techech de boot, hoyap chad. To you honorable and noble people, my beloved people, my friends and my family, we are grateful to all of you, our friends, families, for coming to help us. May your journey home be short. May your people, your family, and your friends be well and happy. Take care of yourselves. Take care. Hoya, Chud.